on a comic book canon, so let's start the show! Joe and Jeff got the juice, keep the show on fire. Josh brings the news straight from the source with no desire. The judge, our wise advisor, keeps us in line. Fresh from the comic shop, showcase your design. Ask Joe the comic book ninja for insights to explore. The popcorn gets to know you from straight to the core. I guess out to think, cause we make some freaks. So much more to discover, this show's a hit. Anything can happen on a comic book canon. Anything can happen on a comic book canon. Anything can happen on a comic book canon. So let's start this show.
Oh, let's start this show right here. This is one of the most highly anticipated comic book canon shows of all time for us, right, Joe? For us.
Amen. I think we have some things in store tonight that will knock your socks off, blow your pants off, and whisk away those toupees off your bald heads. Me and Jeff, obviously, we are bald and proud, me and Jeff.
I wish I did have a toupee to have it knocked off, to be honest with you. With that said, Naomi has the biggest interview in comic book canon history. It is a huge opportunity for all of us, and we're very, very excited. So with that said, though, the interview is not ready just yet. Our guest is a very important person. By the way, you probably saw the thumbnail. Who is Rexy Inkiostro? That is our guest. So after the news, we are heading straight into that interview. So please stick around. If you have not already, like and subscribe. We're just going to have to get right into, actually, no, we're not going to get right into the news. I don't know where my show notes are, but I do have our issue.
You find them, and I'll talk for a second about my day, because I had a crazy day.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Good idea.
I had a pretty crazy day. Woke up real early, butt crack of dawn, like 6:30, whatever, on a Sunday. Went to a flea market, bought some comics there. Went and got breakfast, went to a comic convention, one that happens twice a year that I go to whenever it happens in South Jersey. Got a ton of books there. And I, in fact, filled up a long box and a short box there, and then left that, drove 10 minutes down to the road to another comic toy and collectible show, and bought what I would consider a grail there. We'll show that off later during Fresh from the Comic Shop. But Jeff, have you gotten your shit together yet?
I have, actually. Why don't we just featured episode issue of the week? This is episode 236. So we have issue 236. Dan De La Torre brought the heat with this one, I feel like. I want to bring him in. But, Joe, I don't think you are going to guess this one.
236. Is it Amazing Spider-Man 236?
No, not at all. It is Fantastic Four 236.
Oh.
That is right. Dr. Doom traps the team in an elaborate illusion where they live out normal civilian lives, stripped of their powers and memories. As each member begins to sense something is wrong, they struggle against a false reality and ultimately reunite to defeat Doom's scheme. It's a love letter to Marvel's first family, showcasing both their humanity and their unbreakable bond. This is the 20th anniversary issue, written by one of my favorites, written and drawn by John Byrne, inked by Joe Sinnott, a Fantastic Four just icon. It's got a pinup special in there as well. I want to just bring in Mr. De La Torre, the judge himself, to talk about this issue, because I have not read it yet, Joseph. I haven't read all of the John Byrne issues. I've read a good number of them. Yeah. This one, by the synopsis alone, sounds very interesting. So, Mr. De La Torre, the judge, how are you?
But before, just fine, gentlemen. Good to see you.
Dan goes, I just want to point something out about this book. Put it back up on the screen.
Go for it.
Great hodgepodge of Marvel characters. But if you look at the top right corner, kind of where Sue Storm's hand is pointing, that up there is Mr. Stan Lee himself.
That's so cool.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
So cool. I love that. By the way, welcome to all of you in the TikToks. Crane's Comics, hello. Thank you for joining us, and the likes. And somebody just did a little cha-ching. Oh, heart me. Thank you very much. Really appreciate that. All right. So, Mr. De La Torre, the judge himself, what do we got? Talk to us about this issue right here.
Well, the Joe touched on it. The cover was just dynamite. That was most of the Marvel characters at the time. That was very late Bronze, early Copper Age, if I remember. And John Byrne was in one of the best runs of Fantastic Four. You incredible artist and a great, very good writer, by the way. And it was, for the most part, it was the 20th anniversary of the Fantastic Four. And with the FF movie just coming out the door, they had great success. It wasn't the most perfect, but who cares? It's on the board, and it's successful. I liked it, and I just thought this was a perfect homage to the Fantastic Four returning, or actually entering, the MCU for the first time.
For sure. Joe, do you have anything else you'd like to? I'm curious, Joe, if people actually, if you have this book in stock, people buy this book from you.
Yeah, it's actually funny. I always have this book in stock because I bought a collection at an estate sale maybe 2 years ago, and there was dozens, maybe around like 60 copies of this book. So I always have minty fresh copies on hand, and it's a cool one because it, like I said, it's got Stan Lee on the cover. It's got tons of different characters. It is an extra thick, might be like a 64-page issue instead of
triple size, I believe.
Yeah, something like that. So yeah, it's just a great book all around. And then John Byrne art, late Bronze Age, can't go wrong with that.
For sure. I got to get this one actually in my collection. I love collecting these issues. The last Byrne issue I did get, though, was the one with Doom kind of ripping the page, and you see the inside of the book.
Nice.
John Byrne is, I love him. All right. So with that said, thank you, Judge. Are you excited about the interview today?
I always am. I love being on the show for a lot of reasons, including this.
Okay, great. Well, the interview, though, the biggest opportunity the canon has ever had that Naomi will be conducting. Her, I mean, she's the rookie here. She's getting the biggest interview we have ever gotten on the canon. So
she's going to nail it. I have full confidence in her.
I do too, actually. She better. Let's put it that way. All right, we'll see you a little bit later, Judge. Joseph, what do you say we move on to the news, because we do not want to keep our guests waiting at all.
I think that's a great idea, but I love how you were talking about the interview. Like Dan has any idea what you're talking about. That guy does not check his emails. Does not check his emails. There's 0% chance he had any idea what you're talking about.
And he wasn't part of the production meetings either. So whatever. He'll catch up, I am sure. But speaking of catching up, Josh is running right behind us. We got to let him in.
Josh delivers the news and rumors.
Well, hello, Joshua. How are you?
Hello, gentlemen and ladies of Comic Book Canon. It's a lovely night. It's going to be a great night. We have an amazing interview planned out. I know because I was actually behind the scenes helping out with this interview, unlike a certain somebody over to my right. Well, technically,
you're right.
But,
okay.
Well,
here's
you
the
know
deal.
what I'm saying. What I'm saying. This guy over here.
Honestly, you did nothing to get this interview. Actually, Naomi worked her magic with his people. So that is why he will be live on the show tonight. Do you understand?
Yeah, and plus, Josh, I mean, you fell for this. Yo, Josh, you got some on your shirt.
Classic.
A moment of weakness.
You got booped this morning. You got booped, my friend.
Yeah, I did. But however, there's some controversy, and I heard the reason why you had to leave the first Comic-Con early was because the cops were called. Jeff.
Yo, Josh, you got some on your shirt. Oh, come on. Really?
Right here, from my understanding, there were children that were trying to buy comics for the orphanage and take it back so other kids could read, while Joe ended up stealing a short box and a long box of comics from these kids. So Christmas is not coming early this year.
And notice the shit-eating grin here. Haha, I just stole from
Yeah,
kids.
I mean,
That's
he
great.
looks like the Grinch kind of in this thing. Like, hey, look at me, Mr. Flipper.
I love how my joke is that I played a harmless prank on Josh, and Josh's joke is that he's telling people falsely that I stole from orphans.
To be fair.
I mean, look, now I don't know the whole truth. I'm just saying what I heard. Some rumors going around. I don't know.
I mean,
true or false?
We have a very important interview coming up. We need to get to that. Naomi is literally pacing the halls backstage, just trying to pump herself up for this interview. So, with that said, let's get to the news, shall we, Joshua?
Yeah, so Deadpool is now set to return in Doomsday. However, he is not expected to join the Avengers team officially. I think I know where this is going to go. I think I know what team he might be joining. Definitely won't be the Avengers, but will be another variant team, as you would say. So I'm excited for this. I think, obviously, we need to have Deadpool at least somewhat in Doomsday, whether it's a little cameo or if he ends up being a bit of an important role, we'll have to see. But yeah, I'm all aboard this.
Who wouldn't be? I don't have a problem with it.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. I don't think he's going to be a major focus, but having a, comic relief character, especially one that can break the fourth wall and kind of be in a scene for a few seconds and do something funny and then leave that scene, and that's fine. It's kind of perfect. He's kind of the perfect character to, add some comic relief. Think about I know he has a bad rap, but Jar Jar Binks, actually funny. There are some
Right?
really funny parts of that movie, and Deadpool can be the same kind of character.
I absolutely agree, but I'm also trying to keep up with these freaking comments here.
Lots of comments about me possibly wearing a fox costume.
Oh, why would that be?
Probably because of you guys making up a rumor that I attended
no.
FurryCon this year.
I don't know if that's a rumor. There's a picture, Joe.
All
You're
right.
in the outfit.
Let's move on to the next. We have a very important interview coming up. I'm not going to stop reminding people because we're getting off track again.
Okay, so moving on. Let's move on so we can get to this interview. First look at the Punisher's armored van in the movie has appeared. I'm up for this. I know he had the van, I think, in season 1 and season 2 as well, but it looks like it's a bit of an upgrade. There's also a great picture where Spider-Man is on top of the hood and Frank has a gun pointed at him. So I'm excited for this Spider-Man film. Look at that. There you go. Even though, they got to use other characters to come in to help his film, do better. I guess we'll see how it plays out, but always down for some more Punisher in the MCU now.
Yes, especially they just wrapped his special, by the way. Barenthal's been really busy. I don't know when the last time is you talked to him, Joshua, but obviously he wrapped that special, moved right on to Spider-Man, so that's really cool. I love the fact that the hood shows the logo. Do you think that's something that the Punisher would decide to, you know what this needs? Let's just put one of my logos right on the hood there.
Yeah, might as well be a Target, right?
Okay, that's fair. Joseph, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, cool. I mean, I don't care, but I'm not mad about it. This is just it's a neutral one to me.
Okay, that's fair.
Wow.
Well, if it's neutral, we're going to move on. Before we do, like and subscribe if you haven't done so already, and stick around for the most important interview in comic book canon history. All right, what do we got here?
Yeah, so earlier this week, Peacemaker Season 2, the first 5 episodes out of 8 dropped. Due to the last 3 having a lot of spoilers, and Gunn didn't want to release it to the reviewers yet. However, it currently has 100% Rotten Tomatoes with over 35 views. The highest DCU project. I think Peacemaker Season 2 sits around at 92%. Season 1 sits at 92%. But yeah, I'm hearing great things about this. The first 5 episodes, everybody's saying how great it is. It's, engaging. You want to watch the next episode. It keeps you going. So next week, I believe, next Thursday or Friday, the 21st, Peacemaker Season 2 will drop, so go watch it, support it. I can't wait. I'm hearing some past and present characters will appear and make cameos, and some big things may happen towards the end. So you know us. We'll always be talking about it. Spoiler section at the end of Comic Book Canon.
Oh, we don't really spoil much, but your channel was supposed to be spoiling stuff, and you have done 0 content doing that. So there goes the cross-pollination idea that we had.
I need a little bit more money in the budget, Jeff.
Okay. That's your own channel, as we said. Super excited about this. I would love for Alicia to finish the first season. I don't think that's going to happen before the second season comes around, and I'm just going to have to leave her behind, because that's how we do things in our household these days. We do not wait for the other person to catch up or watch it together. Am I venting a little bit? Yes, but that's okay. Joseph.
Peacemaker Season 1 was great. The Suicide Squad was great. John Cena, I'm not a wrestling guy at all, but I'm a huge John Cena fan at this point, because he and everything that he does, it's good. It's good. He's actually a decent actor. decent, not good, not good, but decent.
I
Better
doubt
than
he'll
Dwayne
win an
Johnson.
award, but he's fun and
And he's
entertaining.
funny. Yeah, he's funny.
Yes.
His delivery is so on point on everything. Great comedic styling. Stoked about this. I definitely will be watching.
All right. With that said, Joshua, we should move on to the next piece of news that we have.
James Gunn says he'll go into production in not too long for his next film in the Superman saga. So it's been reported that he is working on a kind of sequel to Superman. Based off of what his interview pretty much said, it sounds like it's going to focus on the Super family. So rumor is, obviously, Supergirl's coming out next year. So it will be probably in 2007 if they start shooting next year. 2007, 2028, we're going to be getting a semi-sequel to Superman, which will be essentially, supposedly, a team-up with Superman, Supergirl, and Krypto. And there's a bit of a hint that, I don't want to say hint, but rumors that Brainiac may end up being the villain of that film. I would love to see some flashbacks of him destroying Krypton and playing around with that. I think it would be very unique and fun. And again, this is rumored to be a world's finest film, but it turns out it is not. It is a Superman or super family film. So I'm up for that. I mean, I love Superman. I thought it was great. I saw it for a second time in theaters a few days ago, and it's killing at the box office right now, still going. So yeah, let's get some more Superman in the DCU.
Well, before we both comment on this, a Supreme Love is definitely throwing down their opinion on Superman or DC. Oh, good, I need something to help me sleep. So obviously, a Supreme Love is not excited about this project. I am the complete opposite. I cannot wait for more DCU content. Can't wait for Peacemaker. Can't wait for Creature Commandos season 2. Can't wait for everything that James Gunn has planned. Joseph.
Yeah, I'm not a huge DC guy, but I was impressed by Superman. I liked it. I've said this already. Superman was not my favorite part of that movie. It was Mr. Terrific, followed by Guy Gardner. And then, kind of Superman was tertiary to me. But definitely, I'm just excited for this new universe that they're going to be building out, getting more super family characters, getting more, extended DC universe characters. So, as long as it's done well, I'm happy. If Superman is kind of the middle ground, I'm going to be happy. Then I'm going to like most of the stuff. Because if I like that, there's going to be stuff that's going to be better. There's probably going to be stuff that's going to be worse. Not my cup of tea, whatever. But, not everything is for everyone. So that's okay.
Yeah. And that's fair. Exactly. That is okay. I was really hoping that Josh would have another enemy, but unfortunately, a Supreme Love is a Batman fan, so they have that in common. Obviously, a Supreme Love just doesn't like Superman.
Look, we've had too much Batman, okay? Let's focus. Let's give some love to some other characters in the DC universe, okay? Like this next story is a character that actually two characters I would love to see show up maybe in the DCU one day, or at least get a live action film. So let's roll into the next one. DC has announced a Batman Beyond and Static comic run.
Very cool.
I'm excited for this. Static Shock, I learned about him through Batman Beyond when I was watching the animated series and everything. And I love these two. It was a team up. I think this is going to be great. I think it's like 6-issue limited run, if I'm not mistaken. I think I'm going to pick this up and read it. And I would love to see, I'm telling you, give me a Batman Beyond film and the, dark DC Black Label universe, the Elseworld stories. Give me Michael Keaton returned as Bruce Wayne. Get a Terry McGinnis in there. And then, Static Shock, bring him into the DCU. I know James Gunn said there's some legal stuff in the works due to ownership and all that, so they're trying to, but he would like to have Static Shock be part of the DCU. So at least we get them in the comics.
Well, this is a cool cover. I just want to show off these other covers here. This is another interesting cover. I don't know who's arguing on that, but this is my favorite cover of all of them. That looks so dope. I'm excited about this. This is fun to me. And it feels like it came out of left field. So announcing after Comic-Con is curious, but at the same time, it's a very cool concept and something I'm going to be eyeing. Joseph.
Yeah, I mean, I grew up with these two shows, both Static Shock and Batman Beyond. Batman Beyond being one of my favorite shows as a child, one of my favorite animated series. I actually bought a collection this week. A lot of you probably saw it on Instagram, and it was all Batman DC animated universe stuff with all the tie-ins, including Batman Beyond. So it had a full run 1 through 6 of the original Batman Beyond run, had the first ongoing, some of the other mini series. So I'm going to be keeping the number one and holding it tight, because this might be a sign of some stuff that's to come. And this certainly, I think, will boost popularity, among these characters. And I'm all for that. And fun fact, last week, Terrificon, Mike and I, Popa Chili Town and I played in a celebrity poker tournament, and the celebrity was Phil Lamar, who did the voice of Static on Static Shock.
Interesting. All right. Well, this is something definitely to look forward to. Another DC project to look forward to, Joshua.
Yeah, so DC has been doing a monthly subscription letter and doing those announcements. Well, this is confirmed that the dynamic duo will focus on the relationship between Dick Grayson and Jason Todd, and it is now confirmed in the thing to be DCU canon. So we're gonna end up getting, obviously, a older Jason and Dick, and I think this is going to be fun because the two different characters, obviously, with Jason going through what he did, and at the time, I know Dick in the comics reached out and tried to help him and everything, but I'm excited for this. Give me some live action stuff with these guys in it as well. Now I guess we'll have to see what this does for Teen Titans, if Nightwing will be in charge and working with them and doing his own thing. But yeah, I'm all up for more DCU content, and I definitely want it to have Jason Todd, Dick Grayson, all Tim Drake, all the Robins in the DCU. So let's do it.
Yeah, for sure. This is again another kind of left field project. Like, I mean, it's not as left field as Creature Commandos, but still, it's something that I would absolutely like to see the team up of these two on. I don't know if it's the big. I guess it is the big screen, even though it's an animated film.
It will be released in theaters.
That's Derek. But yeah, Joseph.
Yeah, I mean, I love these two characters, and I've always said that these two, they're Dick is a great Robin, Jason not so much, but these two characters are both better in their their more matured alter ego. I like Nightwing a lot better than Dick as Robin. I like Jason a lot better as Red Hood, and I think that Tim and Damian are better Robins themselves. Tim being super benevolent, and Damian at the other end of the spectrum as far as behavior and stuff goes. So I really like those two better as Robin, and these two better as Red Hood and Nightwing. So if you watched the Titans live action show, these two interacted a lot, both teaming up and against each other, which was really cool to see. If you haven't watched that, I recommend it. Season 1's a little slow, but season 2 and 3 are good. Season 4,
I couldn't get through it. I think I was on season 2. I'm just
2 and 3 are good, bro.
I'll maybe give it a try. But with that said, we're gonna move on to the next news story. Before we do, like and subscribe. If you have not done so already, I think I see Naomi backstage. She is actually calm, getting ready for this big interview that we have coming up shortly. So stay tuned. Joshua, what do we have?
Yeah, so this actually dropped today. Stamp.
Nope. We got one more before that.
Yeah, if you look at the there's a private chat where we all talk to each other and kind of we pivot here and there with some things.
Okay. I believe this is the Santa.
I'll take it. How about that? Should we kick him out? Yeah. It's always
take it away, Jeff.
It's always fun. I gotta put myself in the circle here, though. Okay. I just can't do it. But anyways, it's nice. All right. So, friend of the show, alumni and guest, and comicbook.com lead talent is always flying everywhere around the globe doing these premieres and talking to celebrities, et cetera, et cetera. Him and Todd McFarlane were hanging out, and he pitched him an idea of a Christmas story featuring Spawn. So it's in the Spawn universe. So finally, you can pre-order that right now with your local comic book shop. It's I Saw Santa, a Spawn universe Christmas story. It's a 2-issue limited series. Santa gives presents to the good kids and a stocking full of coal to the bad ones. But what happens when one disturbed child takes offense to Santa's gift of coal? Makes it his life's mission to torment jolly old Saint Nick for the rest of his life. Sam and Twitch discover the bodies, but only Spawn can put an end to it. And Joe, you see the cover here, but I had to get the image larger just for you because it's horrific. I mean, you got eyeballs in the drink, you've got ears as the cookies, and I'm not sure what that is to the left, but it's disturbing. Santa looks a little afraid to walk into this house. And then the blood, of course, with the S coming down. So I'm all about this. And Joe, you being the horror fan you are, I would think this is up your alley.
Maybe I'm not a Spawn guy. Despite growing up in the 90s, Spawn definitely got his popularity a little before my time, and was also probably a little bit mature for, the young me. I was born in 90, so by 95, Spawn was pretty well into the run, and also just a little bit more adult themed than I was into. So never really got into the character, but maybe I'll check this one shot out, given that it was written by an alumni of the canon.
And if you have a few questions, he'll be the guest next week. So everybody bookmark that. Chris Killian will be here to talk about this comic book he is co-writing, and it's very exciting. By the way, Derek, you are always on fire with the comments. Keep Spawn and Chris's bumper stickers coming.
That's great.
Soon. Very well done. Let's add him back. This is actually something that's very near and dear to a lot of our hearts right here. So let's take it away, Joshua.
So, as I was saying earlier, this afternoon, news dropped that Terrence Stamp has passed away at the age of 87. Obviously, his biggest role, I won't say his biggest role, but pretty much known for General Zod in Superman 2. He played in Star Wars. He actually played as Jor-El, the voice in Smallville.
Huh.
I didn't know that. And he also played in one of my favorite films, Young Guns 1. So, yeah, it always sucks when we lose an actor, that has played in comic book movies and different movies that we love and enjoy. And, definitely a bit of a loss here. So thoughts go out to his family and friends, and may he rest in peace.
Yeah, he owned the screen when he was on there in a variety of movies that he's done. But the one that left a mark for me was Superman. Really cool, kind of just small part in the first Superman, and then Superman 2. Kneel Before Zod is just, oh my God. From Terrence Stamp, so rest in peace, Terrence Stamp. You have made an impression on many people in this world, and your art will live on forever. Joseph, I'm not sure if you have anything you'd like to say.
Yeah, no, obviously Superman and as Chancellor Valorum in Star Wars Episode 1. Pope of Chillytown, his email address is Kneel Before Zod. He, being a massive Superman, the original movie fan, that was a character that definitely marked his childhood. So that is his email address. You should all send him spam email, by the way.
It's Kneel Before Zod at Gmail, right?
It is, but Neil is spelled without a K. It's Neeel.
Why don't you just put it in the chat for us, Joe, and then we can.
Everybody just email him.
Everyone just spam email him. Just be like, you should all just make fake email addresses and email him and be like, "Hello, I heard you are local to me, and I am selling a Golden Age comic collection. I'd really just like to let it go. I don't want too much for it. I'd like it to just find a nice home, and send them 10 of those."
And all right, let's move on to the next. But set up times and places where he can meet throughout the day.
Meet me behind the Walmart in Willow Grove Tuesday at 3 a.m.
Moving on.
Moving on to the rumors. James Gunn was asked over the weekend about Margaret Robbie if she will return, and he said, "We will see down the line if that happens." So it's likely or not likely that she could return as Harley. Honestly, why I thought she was good. I'm saying, look, DCU. I know we're getting some characters returning, but I think maybe we should recast Harley. We can get a younger actor, maybe a bit of a better actor. I mean, she's a good actress. You know what I mean? Don't get me wrong, but I kind of want to see some new blood for this character. So yeah, that's my thoughts on this rumor.
Yeah, she's run her course. I mean, she was fine in the role. I don't think she was exceptional like a lot of people seem to think she is.
Yeah,
You know, but
it was okay.
no, I thought it was good. Don't get me wrong, but I don't like. I feel like people put her on like the same kind of pedestal as like Hugh Jackman as Wolverine. It's like I don't know about all that.
Yeah.
But I actually like her in most of her other roles. She's like phenomenal, and Wolf of Wall Street is one of my favorite of hers. She's
No,
like-
I know why you liked her in that movie. Yeah.
All right. Here's the deal.
Come on,
Here's
man.
the deal. I would love to see her back in the DCU. She has a relationship with Gunn. She was phenomenal, I thought, as Harley Quinn. But it was only one movie that really was good. Out of the three she appeared in. So I would, again, I hope Gunn brings her back. The way I read it was that it was more optimistic than you guys are presenting it. Or actually Josh.
Well, it's a 50-50 chance. I mean, it could happen, it could not. I think it's going to come down to whether she wants to, and depending on the story they want to tell.
I agree. All parties have to want this, but I think they. Well, I don't know. I'm not in the inner.
The question is, does she want to do it for another 10 years? That's the question.
Point. Very well said. Moving on.
All right, moving on. So over 2 weeks ago almost, a film called Weapons came out, and Josh Brolin, one of my favorite actors, did an interview, and he says that he heard that Polly Patton has joined the cast of Lanterns, and you're probably wondering why he would say that. Well, that's because Josh originally was in the running for Hale Jordan as Green Lantern. He was offered the role, but eventually turned down on it. Honestly, I love Paula. I think she's a great actress. I think she's beautiful. I'd love to see her in the DCU. There's some theories going around who she may play as. So we'll have to see what happens. But like I said, seems like Lanterns is adding a lot of great casts, and this show I think is going to shape up to be really, really good. So we'll see what happens.
Can't wait. I absolutely cannot wait. And sure, I don't care if she's cast or not. To be honest with you, Joe.
Yeah, I don't know her from much, but yeah, I have my theories already about what character she may in fact be playing.
And you want to share those, or do you want to keep them to yourself?
Well, she could be Supreme Love, just mentioned it in the chat. Could be Star Sapphire, could also be Jessica Cruz.
Although, yeah, Josh.
I can tell you why. So Jessica Cruz was announced that they're doing a Green Lantern Jessica Cruz show. However, it is not going to be DCU canon, and they're looking for a younger.
All right, I'm sick of this know-it-all coming in here and ruining my fan theories and stuff like that with his already know it insider bullshit.
All right. Well, we need to move on to the next.
I know. We got to go. Let's finish the news. Josh.
Big interview coming up. Naomi is ready. We're almost there. Here we go, Joshua.
So one of Joe's favorite actors, Hayden Christensen, shares his hopes for a live-action Clone Wars and Darth Vader series. Listen, I've been saying this for years since Rogue One. I want a live-action Darth Vader series where he's in his prime, hunting down Jedi. And we've seen some flashbacks of the Clone Wars live action. So you know what? Let's do it. Give him that. I'd love to see it. I think it'll be great for Star Wars fans and bring back a lot of the fan base and maybe restore hope into the Star Wars franchise.
There's good things happening in a Star Wars franchise, by the way. Do you remember a series called Andor that just came out a couple months ago? I'm not sure.
Yeah, but that's the last decent
you haven't,
thing we've
you should
gotten
check
in like
it out.
years.
Joe, please.
Have you watched season 2?
I'm on the last episode.
Oh wow, and it's been out for like a whole year.
Again, better than everybody else, right, Joe? By the way, get in your questions for Ask Joe and the Cannon crew right now. In case we don't remind you, we may be a little bit sidetracked with this interview. So now that I'm throwing that out there, now would be the time to do it. All right, and here we go. Our last news story before we move on to this huge interview. Joshua.
So, Dr. Doom reportedly wants Steve Rogers dead in Doomsday. Now, I can tell you why, or I can just leave it as that and we can find out in the movie.
That's
I'll
a
leave
good
it up
idea.
to you, gentlemen.
No spoilers.
There's no spoilers, so if there's a way around that, go for it.
I just say this. Steve Rogers screwed up the universe, and he's the reason why Doomsday's coming. I'll leave it at that.
Just delivers the news and rumors.
Thank God we got through that, Joseph. I mean, yeah. So why don't we just do this right now? Again, well done, Joshua. That was very well done. We're going to keep you on here for now. We are going to bring to the stage the rookie of comic book canon who has the biggest interview coming up right now. Why don't we have her introduce it? But before we do, let's just test her nerves. Naomi, how are you doing? Show us the hand. Is it shaking? Oh my God, she's nervous. I hope you get through this. All right,
She's
here we
muted.
go.
She's muted too. So
Wow, this is gonna go great. Again, we have big news here with this interview, so stick around, like and subscribe if you have not done so already. Naomi, now is the time for you to introduce Rexy Inkiostro to the canon for this interview.
All right, so I'm super excited, you guys. This interview is just the biggest. Rexy Inkiostro is such a huge contributor to the canon, so I really am very excited to introduce him. Rexy Inkiostro.
Oh.
Huh.
Okay. That's a little awkward. Rexy is not there. You guys think we should just do a little did you know first, come back, see what happens?
Yeah, why don't we just give him some time?
Maybe he's running late.
He could be. All right.
He's an important guy, so I mean, he might have something going on.
Let me text and see where he
please text his assistant or what have you. All right, here we go.
Okay.
Real quick, we'll get through all of this stuff. Stick around for this huge interview. I swear it's happening. Huge news for the canon. I'm gonna say it, Naomi. He's sponsoring the canon. He's sponsoring Fresh from the Comic Shop. By the way, Peacemaker season 2 is coming out this Thursday. But did you know, Joe? I'm throwing it your way. Did you know? You did know this. That he was not originally a DC character.
I didn't know
Everybody
that.
knew that.
Great.
Did you know DC didn't create Peacemaker? Before he was the star of the Suicide Squad and his own hit series, Peacemaker fought for peace somewhere else entirely. In November 1966, Peacemaker debuted for Charlton Comics in Fightin' 5, number 40. He was Christopher Smith, a man who vowed to bring peace to the world, even if it meant using extreme violence to do it. Charlton's line of heroes, such as Peacemaker, Blue Beetle, and Captain Atom, struggled to compete with DC and Marvel. And by the early 80s, Charlton folded. That's when DC swooped in, buying the characters and giving them new life. Peacemaker even inspired the Comedian in Alan Moore's Watchmen. Proving this C-list soldier left a bigger mark than anyone expected. Decades later, James Gunn dusted him off for the Suicide Squad. Then he gave Peacemaker his own series, and now he's back for season 2. So the next time you see Peacemaker in that shiny dove helmet, remember, he's not a DC original creation, he's an import, and we're all better for it. So, classic hero or redeemed relic? Let us know in the comments. And if you didn't know, now you do.
All right, there we go. You know, it's amazing. James Gunn has this ability to pick out these characters and just make them superstars. Like, was Star-Lord a superstar or Drax before or Rocket Raccoon? No.
Nope.
So James Gunn has a thing where he can do a little bit of magic. So your thoughts here real quick before we check in with Rexy. Anybody?
What? What did you
I
ask?
said your thoughts on Peacemaker.
Oh, Peacemaker. Yeah, cool guy. Yeah, good stuff.
All right. We
August
got
21st.
All right, Naomi, here we go.
Oh.
The interview is about to happen.
Okay.
I think let's try and introduce him again. Maybe Susan, in the control room, can help us out.
All right. So yet again, Rexy Inkiostro. Is he ready?
Sorry for the delay. Rexy will be out here in a minute. One more thing. Do not call him Rex. Have a great time. Toodles.
Okay.
Okay.
That shouldn't be hard.
Naomi, I'm gonna just say what we're all thinking here. We put you on this because we really believed in you, and you're kind of letting the canon down here.
Am I though? Like,
Yeah.
is it me or?
Listen, we know how. Again, Susan, make sure we're muted on the other side, please. We know how these billionaire types are. We work on their schedule, and that's what it is. Especially if he's this big sponsor. The money that we're getting, Joe, you saw the check that you have not cashed yet because you weren't allowed to do it until this interview is done.
I've never seen that many commas before.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, there was a check?
Not for you, Josh.
Not for you. We'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
So this is important for all of us, Susan. You can.
I mean, and it is kind of riding on like how well I do. So I'll ramp it up. I'll do better.
All right. How about this? We will do Ask Joe and the Cannon crew. Get your questions in. We already have some before we get to this huge interview.
Ask Joe, ask Joe, ask Joe, Joe, ask Joe, whoa, and Jeff.
And the Cannon crew. Look at that. The judge is in the house. Hello, sir. Just making sure you know, because we're going to get to these quick questions here before we get to this huge interview. Do you still believe in Naomi? She's going to make it happen.
Absolutely. I have full faith in this young lady. She wouldn't be on this show if I didn't have faith in her.
And if she messes up, will you be upset?
Of course not. Please. Come on. We put up with Josh all this time.
All right. Moving on. Here we go. We got
that as a
Caleb
compliment.
Leland, a.k.a. the real Caleb Leland. Did Joe raid the comic book canon 4-1 funds for a new chair?
Nope. I'm sitting in a broken chair. There's no back on this chair right now.
Okay. That's good to know that you wouldn't do. Wait, would you do that? How are you getting that new chair?
I'm going to have to speak it into existence right now because I've got a lot of other things on my plate. So new chair is going to be, man, maybe I should have looked at the flea market I was at today.
Dumb. Really?
What you're gonna do is you're just gonna walk down the road and you're gonna see one just sitting on somebody's corner, right?
You know, I picked up for my neighbor a perfectly functional dryer the other day. That was awesome.
What?
Nice.
They were getting their washer broke and they got a new one-piece unit.
Yeah.
So they got rid of both and they just put them out to. They're like, whoever wants these can have them. And I was like, wow. Yeah,
gotta love that.
That has nothing to do with comic book canon. Come on, we got stuff to do.
By the way, we got Caleb is actually giving you support here. You're not to blame. Naomi, rich people are weird. It's true.
And Jeff, I have a question. When you get time for Joe?
One day I'll know how.
Okay. Well, let's move on to this is a good one, and then we'll get to you next, Dan. Ask Joe, who do you like better, Jeff or Josh?
Easy, Jeff.
I like you, Josh.
Listen, here's why though. This is why.
Listen, you're making him drink.
Jeff lives in New York. So Jeff's a little farther away from me. We don't see each other too often. We can't annoy each other too often. Josh, I see him too much. He's always at the comic shows. He's always supporting my YouTube videos and my posts on Instagram, liking stuff, commenting, cheering me on. He's always in my claim sales, buying stuff, supporting. It's so much.
Paying the mortgage for you.
Friend, and you like him less for that. That's
I'm
good
just
to know.
kidding. I love you both.
Oh, I like that. Okay. I'm very happy. I'll sleep well tonight. Mr. De La Torre with the live question for Joseph. Here we go.
Mr. Joseph, with my daughter and I went to GalaxyCon, which is here on the West Coast in San Jose. And one of the we went for a couple of reasons. One was autographs. And that's been something that has been ramping up in the comic world, whether it's, comics or Funko Pops or whatever it is. And the price of the asking price of these actors, even if they're lesser actors, if you will, or from the 70s or 60s and people forget all about them, they're still asking a lot more. And I noticed those are appearing more and more on slabs and so forth, because now JSA has been bought out by CGC and so forth. Have you seen the same kind of uptick? Have you seen the same kind of price? Any comments on something that's clearly growing in the comic market, which is autographs?
Good question.
Yeah. Certainly. And the thing is, autographs are a really strange thing because some people see a signed book and they're like, oh, that has to be worth some money. Realistically, the vast majority of comic book creators ever, their signature adds between nothing and $5. The vast majority. It's only really the big names, and it's really only the big names that don't have a bazillion signatures out there. Todd McFarlane's kind of the exception, where he's a big name, and there's literally just so many books signed by him out there. But his signature still holds some value because he's that big of a name. But like even someone like Chris Claremont, who has been going to conventions and signing since probably the 70s, if not certainly the 80s, the early 80s, his signature is really not worth very much. Even on bigger keys and stuff like that, it doesn't add much value because they're so common and he's at so many shows that they're very easy to get. Now, I think personally, the signature to me means more of an opportunity and a remembrance of a time that you got to meet that creator face to face. You got to have a moment with them, maybe ask them a couple questions, get something signed, get something important to you signed, shake their hand, yada, yada, yada. That to me is what signatures are about. So I rarely get stuff signed. I have my Chris Claremont. I've got like 2 things signed by him. I've got a couple other of my favorite creators. Bernie Wrightson, who I never met. I have a signed book by him that I was able to get aftermarket. Same thing, Stan Lee. I have met him, but I have my Stan Lee signed stuff. But like as of recently, like unless it's something I really want signed in my personal collection that I'll be keeping, I don't really get stuff signed. I don't stand in line and get stuff signed to sell. I don't feel right doing that for a couple reasons. One, I'd rather, the lines are often kind of long at shows, especially someone like Chris Claremont, who's so popular. I would rather someone who is a collector and is going to get that experience with that person, get their signature and keep their signature rather than me getting 10 books signed and selling them. You know what I mean?
A quick follow-up though.
Yeah.
About 10 years ago, Stan Lee's signature by the higher ups, I don't know who established this, they had an exact price for the added value, which is I think off the top of my head, $264 and some odd cents. They had it down to the cents, let's say 14 cents. Now, obviously, it's gone quite up. What would you say it's worth these days? Because obviously Stan has passed along.
I would say it's worth less than that. So Stan Lee, really? I always say this. Really? I always say this to people. Stan Lee's signature on a wet napkin is worth $100. So on anything, it's worth at least that much. Typically, Stan Lee signatures, on a decent book, it doesn't have to be an expensive book. Could just be like a $5 book, but one with some significance or something like that. Typically between $150 and $200 on a decent key that has a little bit more value, more like $250, maybe even up to $300. And obviously on a grail, it can add thousands of dollars, especially if that book is in a nice grade and it's slabbed and everything. So yeah, rule of thumb, don't pay too much. I saw online earlier this week, someone was like, I paid $800 for this book signed by Stan Lee, and it was like a kind of a nothing book. It wasn't. It wasn't. Yeah, they basically paid like $700 essentially for the signature, and I was like, this guy's either trolling or they made a really bad purchase. There are plenty of Stan Lee signatures out there. Don't FOMO buy them. They're available. I get them in from time to time, and pretty much I typically sell them between $150 and $250 unless it's a more significant book.
Yeah, I'm not a fan. I think, Josh, you do like getting your book signed. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, cool. Thanks.
I just want to say this. I met Tom King and Charles So at Terrificon, my first 2 signatures I ever got in my collection. And I agree with Joe. For me, it wasn't so much because I'm not going to sell these books. They're going to stay in my PC, but it was mainly so I could meet them, shake their hand, and say thank you because they created some great stories that I love and enjoy. Wish I could meet some other greats in the community, such as Adam Hughes, Bill Finger, Stan Lee. Even sadly, some of them have already passed away. But I think definitely don't go out and buy a $2 book with a $700,000 price tag on it because it was signed by Stan Lee. That's stupid. It makes no sense to me. So.
All right, we have to move on, but shots were fired. We'll fire them right back. Ask Naomi, why aren't you better at your job?
Oh,
Who's that? Who's 360?
oh.
We ask ourselves that often.
Somebody that I probably don't care about, right?
That's good. Okay.
Wow,
yeah,
Nay,
yeah.
how dare you?
Okay, here we go. Moving on. We got to get quick because
Why?
Naomi's got this interview coming up. Ask Joe, who would you want to see portray? Why ask Joe? Why not ask anybody else here? Portray
It's the
Poison Ivy
segment
when she
name.
comes to the next DC movie project when that is.
This is a tough one. I mean,
I got it.
I mean,
Cool.
the first person that comes to mind, and it's just because of the hair color, is Sadie Sink.
Oh!
Is that what you're gonna say? Oh, poor guy. All
There's
right,
gotta be more redheads than that, though.
but though they can dye it, you know what I mean? Like that's just the first person that I think of.
Were you thinking the same person, Jeff?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Same? Okay.
I don't like that. Anyways, anybody else have anybody to ask?
It was actually in the comment, but Karen Gillan.
Karen Gillan, yeah, that's not.
Yeah,
a bad
she played as Nebula in
Mm,
and she's
that
a
would be
natural
really
red
good,
hair too. And she told
Yeah.
she was asked about it, and she said she wants to play a villain in the DCU. So
That would be good.
Oh,
That's a
and
good
she's
I
super
also
cute.
think she'd be a great Batgirl.
Okay, I like this question next because it's about me. Ask Joe, if Joe is a furry fox and Josh is a big beef, what is Jeff's comic persona? Obviously,
it's
guns, right?
definitely.
Yeah, the
it
guns.
isn't-
Yeah.
No, not the guns. It's
It's guns.
the typical
I said
we
it!
think of. As we know, Jeff lives in his parents' basement. He's a loser. He's down
he
there in
blew
the
off his
dark.
eyebrows.
I'll let
doing
you
the
all.
science
I'll let
test.
you all decide what my persona will be. But I say guns, and then
I'm-
Supreme Love for the hat trick here with the third question. Taking a ball to ask Joe. I picked up an awesome sign in remark book Wolverine 3. Will JSA denote the remark?
I do not believe so. I'm pretty sure I went over this when they first started doing it. Is that they do not authenticate remarks, and I believe it's then counted against the grade because it's just marker on a book or paint or pen or whatever it is. So be careful with that. I cannot say that for sure. And if Brixco Comics is in here, maybe you can tell me because Brixco has sent a lot of things in to JSA and just CGC in general recently, more so than I have. But yeah, I do not believe because they can't like authenticate a remark. So I wouldn't think so.
All right, moving on. Jesus Christ, these come. Moving on. All right, two more questions here. Ask Joe over under on 6 months until the first CGC JSA scandal.
There's going to be something. I mean, neither company is perfect. You know, whether JSA messes up authenticating something. I've heard of some situations. I wouldn't call these scandals per se, but people send stuff in and they specifically check the JSA box and the book doesn't get verified and it comes back with a green label because it didn't go to JSA for some reason. So there's always going to be problems.
I just want Derek, you're one of my favorite people. Love your questions.
Hold on. We have yes. Okay. Susan's in our ears right now. Looks like Rexy is ready to go.
You're on, kid.
And ask Joe.
Yeah.
Naomi, let's do it. Everybody, the most important interview in comic book canon.
Don't blow this. This is your career rides on this interview.
You got this, Naomi. Don't listen to him.
I don't blow interviews. I'll blow other things, but not interviews.
Oh!
Let's do it.
Ask Joe, ask Joe, ask Joe, ask Joe, whoa, and Jeff.
Okay, I am thrilled to have one of the biggest sponsors in canon history, Rexy Inkiostro. Hey, Rexy, how are you doing?
Hey, Nancy. Doing great, but let's get down to brass tacks here. I just sent your team a video, so go ahead and roll it.
Okay. Susan? Ballroom. Did Rexy's people send over a video?
Yes, they did, Naomi. I have the video, and I'm ready to roll it on your cue.
Okay, roll it.
July 28th, 1961. This was the day comic book ink changed forever.
My fellow visionaries, today marks not just a turning point for the comic book arts, but for civilization itself. We at Ink Standing Ink are humbled yet resolute in our mission. I predict this ink will lay the groundwork for a more colorful and, dare I say, a more peaceful world.
Artie Inkiostro developed what is commonly known as the ink of the future and set the path of his company, Ink Standing Ink, into the stratosphere. Comic book ink was Artie's passion. Until Rexford Inkiostro was born. Rexy for short. Early on, Rexy had a knack for understanding business, specifically money. As hard as Artie tried to push him into the family ink, Rexy always felt he had another calling, though he took quite the journey to figure it out. He had typical entrepreneurial pursuits as a child, but that bored him. He started a boy band called the Inksters.
Put that pen to paper and don't let me taper my love.
But that bored him. He jumped into modeling and traveled the world. But that bored him. He became a professional F1 driver, but that too bored him. All the while, the media kept asking Artie, who will be taking over as the CEO of Ink Standing Ink?
Okay, I have to ask, who will be taking over as in-standing CEO?
I really don't know.
Feeling pressure from outside forces, as well as feeling personally unfulfilled, Rexy finally took over Ink Standing Ink. For the first few years, it was business as usual. But Rexy was bored. Then, on one fateful comic book convention day, Rexy had an epiphany.
Bruh, I literally just had this epiphany. There is like nothing out there celebrating nerd culture. All the t-shirts and other paraphernalia just suck, man. I mean, did you see the trash that people were wearing? I like literally couldn't keep a straight face at my signing booth. I'm gonna do it better. Mark my words. I will have the greatest company that celebrates, oh wow, the rebel nerd. I just came up with that. This will be huge.
The next great Inkiostro creation was born.
I want to just thank you all for joining me here today. Today is a special day. A day that celebrates you nerds and you geeks. Today's the day that you, the rebel nerd, comes home. That's right. Today's the day I tell you, comic nerds, geek out!
CNGO was born, and the world will never be the same.
In a world drowning in the mundane, are you merely existing? Just another face lost in the noise? No. You were forged for more. For the defiant. For the unapologetically obsessed. For the rebel nerd. This isn't just a brand. This is the manifestation of your true self. We don't follow trends, we ignite movements. This is not a choice. This is inevitable. This is your anthem. This is CNGO. The revolution has begun.
So, I want to reiterate again, I'm just a regular guy, a nerd like you. I'm just bringing the people what they want.
Rexy, what's next for you?
For me personally, I don't know, read a book, maybe write one. But I need to make this very clear. I am all in on CNGO. It is my passion, and my legacy will be forged by it.
Wow. That was a short documentary. That was really incredible and very thorough. Thank you for that, Rexy.
Thanks, Nancy. It's absolutely crucial for the community to grasp the foundational architecture of this brand. You can't truly optimize for the future without first honoring the legacy that built it.
So, Rexy, what made you want to celebrate us nerds?
My father built a legacy on Ink. I'm providing the platform to optimize the voice of the rebel nerd. It's simply the next evolution of our family's vision.
Very nice. Okay. Very cool. I love that. Will the comic book canon crew receive an updated budget and perks? Maybe?
Look, I just gave you the gigantic amount of money to be your primary sponsor. Whatever you do with that money, it's really up to you.
What I like to hear. What kind of merch can we expect from this new clothing line that's coming up?
This isn't just a clothing line, Nancy. It's a collection of meticulously curated assets designed to optimize the rebel nerd's identity. You can expect a scalable, high-value platform for authentic self-expression.
Rexy, I mean, this is amazing. This is all really cool. And I'm super happy that you came here and, you know, talked to all of us and our 20 million viewers. But I feel like, I don't know, because we've gotten so close, is it okay if I just, you know, call you Rex instead of Rexy?
No, we are not doing this. How dare you? I'm done here.
Wait, I'm so sorry. Wait,
This is what I get for trying to help the little people.
Well, okay. You did exactly what I told you not to do. You called him Rex.
Oh, shit. Oh, God.
I got good news and bad news, friends. The good news is that he will keep this sponsorship going. The bad news is he will make your life a living hell. Toodles.
Everything's good. Sorry, Rexy.
Just when I thought it couldn't get any fucking worse.
Oh my God, what did you do? What did she say? She told you not to call him Rex.
Rexy's such a stupid name.
Oh, well, there we go. Make it worse now. We are so sorry, Rex.
Naomi, I'm still supporting you, okay?
Thank you.
God.
I'm
Oh,
not.
man. I just peed my pants. Oh, well, now it's... Oh,
Guys, I gotta unfollow a couple of social media pages.
Oh, my God.
They're drama queens.
Oh, my God.
Let them have
You know,
it wasn't that we were supposed to cash from this, and I don't know
he
what
said
that means.
he said we could still have the money.
But
still be good.
they're gonna make our lives hell. Now we're obligated to roll into Fresh from the Comic Shop. It's sponsored by CNGO. Rexy hates us. Jesus.
Fresh from the comic shop, sponsored by CNGO.
That needs to be cut there too. Sorry, Rexy. Rexy, we are sorry. Yeah, we're supposed to show off all of the products that CNGO has. These t-shirts here, they look wonderful. It's home of the Rebel Nerd. You got your Rebel Nerd t-shirt. You got your Anything Can Happen. You got your My Therapy is New Comic Book Day. I know Naomi likes this one. I dig long boxes and variant cover collector. You can get all of them at the link below. This is really, really bad.
It could be worse. He could own Slab Decks.
We're not even supposed to say Slab Decks. Jesus, we're literally.
Was that in the email?
Oh my God.
Jeff, I just had this pop in my idea. I have a great idea for a new T-shirt design.
All right, let's just get into fresh from the comic shop right now.
Oh my God.
That's all we can do. I don't know how we're gonna salvage this. We need to hire a PR firm, though, I would think. Let's just start off right here with we got our January winner Mon Comics. Oh, by the way, also everybody who's won in the previous months will be getting a comic book canon t-shirt. So congratulations on that. Our lives are going to become even more difficult than they are right now, putting on the #1 live show of all time. So if you like and subscribe, it would really help us out. Thanks a lot, Naomi. January winner is Mon's Comics. You'll get a t-shirt. February winner is Dr. Plagueis. You'll get a t-shirt. March winner is supercrispy.comics. You'll get a t-shirt. February is Nori Jordan. You will get a t-shirt. May is Mike Haggs. You'll get a t-shirt. June is Spuds. You'll get a t-shirt. And July is Bricksco. Congratulations on that. I'm not even in the mood to do the rest of the show, but we'll get through this, everybody. We
can do it.
We can do it. Josh, again, I can't. No more stupid ideas. So we'll move on. Here we go. Okay, here we go. Oh, by the way, we'll have an August semifinals going up. That's my fault. I was very busy this week. Kate's Comics is first. Where is it? I'm just flabbergasted. Is that the right way to use that?
Yes. No.
Okay, thank you.
Flustered.
Harley. Oh, by the way, Kate's is eligible. Harley Quinn, #1 Emerald City Comics edition from 2016. My face hurts from smiling so much each time I see this book. I was lucky enough to meet Amanda Connor and Jimmy Palmiotti at Terrific Con this past week. While at their table, I picked up this variant cover of Harley Quinn #1 from Rebirth. Talk about a best of both worlds. Not only do I love their Harley run, but Wizard of Oz, my favorite movie of all time. I cherish the childhood memory of my entire family, 17 cousins, and all my aunts and uncles. Geez, meeting each year to watch the Wizard of Oz during its yearly showing on TV. I may have also seen every movie that I have access to with Judy Garland in it. Thank you so much, Amanda and Jimmy, for not only signing this book, but also taking time to chat. I just adore your work. Listen, knowing how passionate Kate is about, her love of comic books, and I just found out, obviously, about Wizard of Oz. This means so much. This is a fantastic story. It's one of the criteria we do look for from the comic shop. By the way, that criteria is take a well-composed shot. Kate did that. You can show us a unique book as well and tell us a story. Let us know what this book means to you. Kate nailed that for sure. Who wants to go first to show off their fresh gets? I need to take a break.
I'll go because I need to suit up. If you don't mind.
You got it,
if
sir.
You don't mind, sir. My wife and I were in Placerville, was visiting her brother, and we found this little comic shop / toy shop and all that. I got a couple of cool ones here, and then I got one from the Galaxy Con. This was just a cool cover. It's not an expensive book, but I just love this. It's the armor from Batman.
Ooh.
From
Azrael.
Yeah. I just thought it was super cool. Cost me $1. So that was.
Is it foil?
It is foil.
Oh yeah.
It's not a high grade, but it's foil. It's cool, and again, for $1, you can't beat it.
That is very nice, Judge. Very nice. Maybe
cool.
time for you to suit up.
Gotta love
let me throw. I got 3, but let me just throw out the other 2.
Oh yeah, let's do it. I forgot about our new way of doing things here.
Another one for $1. First appearance of Throg, and it's a really nice condition. $1. I just put it in Mylar just a few minutes ago. But first appearance of Throg. So hey, if you dig, you find cool stuff. And we talked about signatures a little while ago. I've shown this before because I had. The writer, one of my favorite writers, Steve Englehart, signed this, but I also had Lou Ferrigno sign this yesterday. There's the signatures right there. What a nice man. I posted this on my Instagram with myself and Lou Ferrigno. He looks like the Hulk, and I look like Bruce Banner as we both aged into our later to our later years. So yeah,
I'm a little upset that I didn't take that picture and bring it into the show.
We can do it next time. We'll do it next time.
It's an excellent picture, by the way.
Thank you. All right, I'm going to suit up.
Judge. That was 3? Okay, I guess it was 3. Let's bring Joshua back in from time out. Joshua, where are you, buddy? You're hiding from us. Okay. He's really still upset from The biggest mess up on comic book canon history. Moving on, we have who do we have? We have Nori Jordan. You are not eligible, but we'll show off your book anyways. It has been a long week, and I'm still recovering from Terrificon. I had never been to an event of this size, and when I walked through the doors, I don't know where to begin. I took a deep breath and found 3 Thunderbolts #1s and composed myself. All joking aside, one of my main goals was finding a boys #3, the first appearance of the 7. On day 2, I was walking by a booth that mostly had toys, but saw a couple boxes on the ground. I looked through them and was happy to find a Newman copy for only $10. It was an exciting find, and in honor, I decided to include my submission picks of my 7 from Terrificon. That's very sweet. I did count myself as one of the 7. Thank you to my son, Brandon, 360 Comics, a.k.a. Joe. Josh's Comics, you made that? Wow. Dr. Young, Kate's Comics, and the Giant Galactus for a great weekend. Take care, everyone. It looks like, honestly, that, like, Terrificon meant a lot to a lot of people, so that's very special to see. Why is T-Shoe telling me I'm too close? I'm too close. Am I too close? I'm too close. You don't understand how I don't know how I'm going to sleep tonight. Joe, why don't we just show off your books next? Let's do it.
Sure, yeah.
Direct Susan to do what you want to do when it comes to anything you want to show.
Okay, cool. Yeah, we've got a couple things to show here. First off, I've shown this book before, and I always pick this book when I find it in a dollar bin because it is my favorite modern comic book cover. Not only do I love the yellow and purple, but just this really cool skyline with one of my favorite Batman villains, the Scarecrow, right there. I just love this. Super creepy, definitely pops really nicely with the dark foreground and that yellow kind of gradient background. Like I said, I always grab this when I can find it for $1 or less. Anytime I get it in the collection, I keep it. It's also the first cameo appearance of Miracle Molly, so it does have some key significance as well. But I was told recently that shout out to Rob and Mike, Rob Hughes and Mike from Comic Universe. They bought out a comic store that closed down in the area, and they had a bunch of copies of these. So I actually bought a mostly filled long box today. It was almost 150 copies. I didn't get like a firm count, but 130, 140 copies of that single book to add to my collection. I probably had close to 100, if not 100 at this prior to this. So now I have over 200 copies. Susan, please roll the footage of me going through my spoils. So call me Nori Jordan, whatever.
Is that what you stole from the orphans?
That's what I stole from the orphans. Yeah.
Oh, you mean like in this picture right here where you're enjoying every minute of it?
Yep. Just me stealing from the orphans.
Okay. Well,
And guess what? Now he's gonna turn around and sell that book for $20 a pop, probably.
Probably, for sure.
No, I'm not. I'm not selling. I don't ever sell copies of that book. Supreme Love just said Mint Hunter hoarded that book for a while. I sent him that video today, and he goes, "Shit, man." That's like the first thing that he said.
Okay, moving on. Moving on
to my next one. Sorry, I forgot I had more here. Last week you saw I bought a Giant Size X-Men 1. That was my big book that I got at Terrificon. I actually ended up selling that Giant Size X-Men 1 last night in my claim sale. So I needed to reboot and buy another one. So I bought another Giant Size X-Men 1 today. This was randomly on a table at my last stop of the day, a very small toy, comic, and collectible show. The room was like not very big. There might have been 6 to 8 vendors. Probably 7 or 8 vendors, something like that. One guy had mostly modern stuff, I guess, like a little dipping into the 80s, but also randomly had a Giant Size X-Men 1. I bought this off of him, and it is actually a higher grade copy than the one that I bought last week, so that's pretty cool. And I actually have a buyer lined up for it already. So I am spreading the joy of Giant Size X-Men 1 this month.
Congratulations. I'm doing the service of a saint.
Yes. Well, hold on. You have to put me back up because I have one more.
I was hoping you didn't.
Wow. Rude, Jeffrey. This one's cool. This one's the coolest. Cooler than a Giant Size X-Men 1. This right here, I actually got a call this week about a guy who had some original art. He had collected comics and art back in the day, hadn't really done anything with it for a while. I was just looking to clear out some space. He had a portfolio of a bunch of artwork that he had. Some of them were prints and signed prints. Some of them were sketches, and some of them were actually original art pages, published pages. This was one of them, and this kind of caught my eye. I was like, okay, this is interesting. I don't know what it is, and it's only half the page. And then I noticed this here. That is the Grendel mask. For those of you who are familiar with Matt Wagner's Grendel. Matt Wagner, great artist. Love his work on Batman. But this is the character that he's most well known for, Grendel. And I looked up at the top, and in fact, in pencil up here, it says Grendel, Behold the Devil. It says Wagner. So it's a Wagner original. Issue number 1 and page number 1. And I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. It seems like this is the splash page. And not only did I grab this, but I was actually able to go online. And Susan, please put up the picture. I was able to actually find the splash page. I don't own this book. I'm definitely going to go out and find a copy, though. But this is what the splash page looks like. And that's why that side is blank, because it is a full text from Christine Spar, who is the second Grendel, talking about Hunter Moon, who is the first Grendel. Really cool black and white with the the highlights of the wine and the rose there in red. I gotta go find that book. Gotta find this run. Definitely want to own it.
That is very cool, actually. That's a unique piece of art that could have actually won you something, but you can't win. Sorry, buddy. All right, moving on. We have we got the real Caleb Leland, aka Cable. Where are you though? Oh, there you are, buddy. Here we go. Look at the foil on that one. Some days, comic fan, I feel like I'm stuck in the 90s. The way I dress, the music I listen to, it's like I'm still that kid about to graduate high school and freaking about what I'm going to do with my life. Well, I'm nearly 50 and I still don't know what I want to do with my life. So it only seems appropriate that I present a book for Fresh from the Comic Shop that screams 90s. Wildcats issue 2 with this glorious shining cover. This was the series Jim Lee published through Image until he finally went back to DC and brought these characters with him. Will James Gunn utilize more of his characters in future projects? I guess I'll have to wait until Josh lets us know in the news and rumors. Until then, I'm just going to enjoy this beautiful book. I hope you're all doing well. And as always, much love. Spending time in the chat every Sunday night really does help with my mental health. Honestly, we do appreciate that. We hope you're not as upset as we are tonight for losing a billion-dollar sponsor. And it's all Naomi's fault, the rookie. Joe, that was your idea. I'm going to start finger pointing too. It was your idea to have her do the interview too.
Listen, I had faith in her, and she's done a good job so far. And I thought that things would be fine, but clearly, I was wrong.
And here's Josh sitting back. You should have let me just do the interview. You should have just let me.
I mean, look,
Josh, you have any fresh guests?
Robert Downey Jr. being Doom.
Okay, do you I don't know what that means, but do you have any fresh gets?
Yeah, I do. So I went to the $1 comic book show as well. And like I said, don't steal from orphans. It's not cool. You know who you are, Joe. So I picked up this great Detective Comics 1046 variant, a Lee Banjo variant, and it's actually a sketch off of Alex Ross's art that he did. So I love that. Realistic.
I have a question about that book.
Go ahead, hit me.
Why are you not actually giving us the full story that you were the model used for that?
I'm trying to be modest. Okay. I'm trying to let people know that I'm a good guy and that I'm, I don't,
you can be a good guy with a great body.
I do. Listen, do you want me to take the shirt off and
I
give you
do.
a little peek?
I do.
I tell you what, I'm gonna film a video next week. We'll have some good background music playing. We'll get something good going. All right, Jeff?
You got it.
So moving on, the second book I picked up, I'm going to Baltimore Comic-Con hopefully in October, and Joshua Middleton will be there. So I picked up this great variant of Poison Ivy.
Nice.
Speak of that, yeah. Want to hopefully get that signed by him. But there's another book that I picked up for $1 that has to do with Poison Ivy. And I can't believe I picked this up for only $1. Could have saved myself a couple hundred. This is Batman issue number 181. First appearance of Poison Ivy for only $1. I mean,
facsimile, right?
maybe if you say that, in my mind, I'm calling it the original, but I actually have the original all the way back here. So what I think I might do later this week is I'm going to take this out, have that sit next to me, and give you guys a little behind the scenes, show you some red vines. No, green
Ooh.
vines, red hair.
Continue to.
I love red vines.
Judge,
Question-
are we allowed to kick him off now?
You can do whatever you want. Yeah. You were hold on. You were gonna have him take a shirt off. I'm like, no, I haven't had dinner yet. Please.
All right. You know what? You're back in timeout. Moving on here. Who do we got? We got Toonish Lurker. This one's unique, I have to say. Where are we? There we go. Toonish Lurker got this in the email a couple weeks, or got this in the mail a couple weeks ago. This is Switchable Shorties, Ed Pisker's last book release, posthumously. I know what it means. I can't say it. By the Piskor family. Having watched the cartoonist K-Fab, this was a book Ed was excited to put out in the world. The craft taken into the design and the shape of the book is so cool. Each chapter has a different color tone over what looks like lined notebook paper. And the art is really Ed Piskor's own. Want to share this with the comic book canon. Here we go. The inside of the book. So that is very cool right there. For sure. Well done. Naomi, do you have any books? Because I don't.
I do. So I recently just got this in the mail. It's from Distillery. It is called White House Robot Romance.
I love that cover.
It's really cool, and it's got a little tricky dick in the back. Not talking about Joe.
Their covers, the quality that they put out is absolutely outstanding.
Dude, it is so cool. So like I'm like buddies with the people at Distillery now, so they send me stuff in the mail, which is awesome because not a lot of people carry a lot of Distillery stuff. So I'm excited to read that.
And that is your only book, I'm guessing, because you're okay.
Yes.
Be careful with that.
Let's see that. Hold on. Let's see that back cover again. They did something with the Canadian. Okay.
Canadian.
Yeah.
Yeah. It
That's
does
a
look
statement.
Canuckian.
Yeah, what's that all about?
Yeah.
I get it. The joke.
That is very good. All right, we're still really upset with you. I don't think it's hit us that we've potentially lost a $1 billion sponsor, but
let me just,
No, I don't think we're going to let it go anytime soon. But let's just get to this last one, actually. Raising Elm. Howdy, comic fam. Arrived yesterday, gone tomorrow. Sounds like a James Bond title to me. That's right. This is CGC 9.8 newsstand copy of GoldenEye 007 issue 1. Arrived in the mail yesterday, Saturday, and it will be shipped to CGC tomorrow, Monday, for a signature event with the wonderful Famke Janssen. Growing up, I was and still am a huge Bond fan. To most of you, Famke is undoubtedly Jean Grey, but to me, she will always be a Bond girl first. A little special birthday present for myself. Much love, comic fan. Look, he's barely buying stuff for himself, by the way. Justin, you're always doing the stuff for your kid, which is it should be applauded, but I'm glad you got a little something for yourself right there, for sure. All right, so with that said, everybody, we have a choice to make, a decision to make, and I don't know which way to go.
It's a tough one.
What's that?
It's a tough one.
Let me make a suggestion, if I may, Mr. Joe, Mr. Jeff. You two haggle it out, come up with your top ones, and if it's a tiebreaker, I'm going to throw that to Naomi.
Sure.
So basically, as we normally do, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That works. All right. So here's the deal. Kate is definitely eligible, right?
I was gonna say that. Yep, Kate is eligible, and definitely was really unique. It being a variant cover here, and it being signed, kind of 2 check marks on the unique. It's great presentation here. You can see
Cool
the book
cover
clearly and all the signature, and then of course, great story.
Yes,
Check
for sure. The fact that you meant the creators at Terrificon, so that sticks in my mind as well. Who do we have? Caleb Leland. This is a little. Again, I was I had to take a trip to my parents, and I did not get the voting up. So Caleb Leland and Raising Alma are going up against each other in the first semifinals. So they're not quite eligible. Tunish Lurker is, though, and this is a very unique book right there.
Yeah.
I love this.
Yeah, this is cool. Obviously a great story behind it. Ed Pisker's family put it out, posthumously. That's how you pronounce the word, Jeff, just so you know in the future.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah. But yeah, really cool story behind that. Definitely something very unique, more of an indie book there. That's a hard one. Those two are both solidly up there and checking the boxes. Is there one you're leaning towards?
I am leaning towards one.
Me too.
For sure. Like out of all of these, I'm leaning towards one.
So let's say it on 3. And if we're right, if we're the same, then we throw it to the judge. If we differ, we can throw it to Naomi, and she can try not to fuck up.
Are we going 3, 2, 1 or 1, 2, 3?
1, 2, 3, and then we'll
Kate's Comics.
That's what I was gonna say. Kate's Comics, you are the winner. Wait,
we're moving on. Kate's Comics to the second semifinals.
You gotta get the judge to certify it.
Oh shit! Your Honor, I am so sorry.
Get this guy out of here, Judge. Go ahead.
All right, Case Comics, you are the winner. Congratulations, Case. Dismissed.
Boom. Woo. All right, we'll bring Jeff back in. If he can handle himself now.
I'm glad I'm not the only one messing up today.
Well, let's equate these mess ups, right? Like in terms of, let's quantify which one is a bigger mess up. I'll have Joe do that because he does the math.
So Josh, easily the worst mess up of the night, hence why he's not on here right now. We've actually been told by the higher ups that now own a large percentage of the canon that he cannot be on the show for the remainder of the show. I would say the second biggest one is Naomi. She did something she was told not to do. Jeff, you're just a dum-dum pants. So, I mean...
Time out. The fact that Naomi lost us... Well, we haven't lost the money, but...
We haven't lost anything.
I'm sorry?
Except respect.
We're indentured to this person.
We never had respect.
We have to abide by the contract. He said he's going to make our lives living hell. I don't like this one bit. I don't want to end on a bad note, but I have no other choice.
All right,
here's the worst episode in comic book canon history.
Here's a good note to end on. Yo, Josh, you got some on your shirt.
Oh, that makes me laugh.
That will never get old.
All right, everybody, seriously, this was the worst episode in comic book canon history, but I love being with you all. So if we had to endure such an atrocious performance on all of our parts, it's with you, the Canon crew, and everybody in the audience here in this community. You guys are wonderful, and we love doing the show each and every week. I'd like to toss to Naomi to see if she's going to apologize.
Totally. Sorry.
God. Was
that sincere?
Absolutely. I am
sarcasm?
So sorry. I'm sorry.
I'm not sorry that we had such a great show tonight. I had fun. It was a mess. It was controlled chaos without the controlled part. It was just pure chaos. And that's as we know, anything can happen with the comic book canon.
That's actually it did tonight. It really did.
Wow, that was a really good tie-in. I'm actually kind of impressed.
Our logo. Judge, please, you have the final say.
Even with our errors and mishaps we had, we still were able to keep it together. We're just a talented crew. I still love and support everybody, especially that young lady right there. You still are in my good standing here, guys. Oh, by the way, where's Josh? Where'd he go? Did he leave on us? Did he bail on us?
I don't think. Not only does the judge not read the emails, he doesn't listen to his co-hosts.
He's still here.
I read. I just don't respond. Oh. Okay, we can't recover from that. We cannot recover. Okay, we lost about 1,000 subscribers. And I'm seeing emails saying they're horrified. Wait for the lawsuits on that.
Oh my God. I need to end this now.
I can't I can't unsee that now. I'm gonna sue.
Oh my God.
I'm putting that in my spank bank.
Get my therapist on the phone again, please.
Listen, we're gonna see you next week, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 5
No,
p.m.
are we off?
Pacific.
Are we off next week or the week after?
No, the week after. I was just about to say next
all right.
week is the last show in August. We are off on the last weekend there. Maybe we'll have a casual canon. I don't know, but until then, please be good to yourselves, be good to others. Peace.
Sorry, guys.
It's not playing. What a shit show.
Oh, wow. Thank goodness that's over. What a shit show.
Damn. Finally put a little bit more muscle on, but I used to look good when I was younger. Not bad. Yeah, we'll see what happens. Stop!